Hello, and welcome to Well Advised On-Demand Learning, a series brought to you by the Kentucky Advising Academy, an initiative of the Council on Post-Secondary Education. I'm Christy, one of the advising coordinators here to guide you through this module. Advisors play a crucial role in guiding students through one of the most significant milestones of their academic journey, applying to college. We'll share strategies and resources to support you as you assist students and families with the college application process. Let's get started. College application season starts in August, with many colleges launching their application during that first week. College applications do differ by institution, but there are more similarities than differences. In fact, most of the questions are the same. What do these applications have in common? Demographic information: name, date of birth, social security number, race, high school, etc. The contact information. This is how colleges can contact the student. This is the address, the phone number, and their email. Major selection. This asks what the student will plan to study and what degree that they plan to earn. And finally, academic history. This is the transcript, senior courses that they're currently enrolled in. Some institutions may request standardized test scores, while others are test optional. Students must send a copy of their high school transcript to the schools that they are applying to. And if the student has taken dual credit courses, they will also need to send a copy of their college transcript with those grades on there too. Communicate to students that colleges want them to apply. Even if a student doesn't qualify for free or reduced lunch price, they still may be eligible for financial help with that fee. Some colleges may offer a fee waiver during free application week. Some institutions will waive the application fee if the student visits campus. It's worth reaching out to the admissions office if the fee is what is standing in the way of their application being complete. The National Association for College Admission Counseling, or NACAC, offers application fee waivers for students with limited financial resources to apply for college. The purpose of these forms is to ensure equitable post-secondary access and is intended for undergraduate applicants with financial needs. You can find this application fee on NACAC's website. Institutions may require additional or supplemental materials be sent alongside the main application. The college application comes alive with supplemental materials. The admission team gets to know who the student is and what's important to them. Those additional documents might require the student to submit a resume or a list of extracurricular activities. The resume provides a sense of what's important to the student, and it shows how the student spends their time. The admissions team isn't necessarily looking for a long list of memberships, but more of what is near and dear to the student's heart. If the student has a job or cares for younger siblings, this is important to include. Students may also need to include letters of recommendation. The letter may highlight the student's grit or showcase how they contributed to the culture of their school or community. Who better to write about that student than a counselor, a teacher, coach, club sponsor, youth group leader, or a boss who has seen this firsthand? One way that students can distinguish themselves from others is the personal essay. Remind students to have someone proofread it, not just spell check it. And it's a good idea to avoid topics like sports as a metaphor for life. If the student has a highly developed talent in visual or performing arts, they might consider sharing those creative samples through a video or photo. And finally, students may have an interview or an admission conversation. Those conversations may happen when the student is touring the college, or it could be when the admissions rep does a visit to the high school. Students may also have an interview as part of the selection process as an entrance to a special program. Supplemental materials give the admissions team a holistic view of the student. And even if a school does not require supplemental materials as part of the application, it's good practice for students to gather those items as they might need them for scholarships or even potential jobs or internships later. When students connect with their admission counselors, those representatives can guide them in the way that they need it so that the student can make a well-informed decision. You may be working with a student who is concerned that their grades or scores do not meet the minimum criteria that the college that they want to attend will accept. Let's hear from Hannah Peck, Associate Director of Admission from Lindsey Wilson College, on how to best advise those students.
Hello everyone, my name is Hannah Peck. I'm the Associate Director of Admission at Lindsey Wilson College, and I'm so excited to be helping out with the Kentucky Advising Academy on what can sometimes be some confusing parts of the college admission process. My advice to the students is always to continue to improve, especially looking at schools, like we said, that are rolling admissions and accept applications throughout the year. They don't need to discount themselves early on. Maybe they don't meet the criteria in August of their senior year, but maybe they will by December. So to continue to improve their GPA, to look at schools specifically, individually, to see exactly what the admissions criteria is at different schools, and then look at schools that maybe are closer to where they are currently, or their admission standard is closer to where that student is currently, so that they can have the best shot, if college is really something that they want to do, so they can have the best shot of making that happen. Always talking with the admissions representatives at each school is very important as well. So a lot of our schools throughout the state of Kentucky are now offering test optional. Now that doesn't mean that all GPAs can be evaluated as test optional. Typically, most schools then have a specific GPA marker that you have to hit if your ACT score or your SAT score doesn't meet their standard benchmark. Maybe you'll have to have a bit of a higher GPA or something of that nature, or they'll evaluate you holistically and look at the classes that you've taken and that sort of thing to evaluate your college readiness. So that is an option. So students should not get discouraged up front and think that they are not college material, because they can make it happen if this is a wish that they have. So talk with your colleges, see specifically, do your research. What are the admissions criteria at that school? What is the criteria for being a test optional student? And a big thing would be, how late does that school accept the ACT or the SAT? So does the student have time to retake the test? Many schools will allow tests up until December, but some, like I work at Lindsey Wilson College, we allow the test until March. So that gives them the additional February ACT to take and try to improve their scores. A lot of schools will still use the ACT to improve scholarships. So you want to also make sure you see when do ACTs have to be in for admission decisions, but also when do they have to be in for scholarship decision. Some schools will offer things like bridge programs. So if you haven't met the admissions criteria, but maybe you qualify for their bridge program, there are several schools across the state that offer these type programs. And what these will be is a time for students to come in, usually over the summer. They will take classes where they have additional help and study resources, and these will be classes to prepare them for their freshman year and to get them ready for life at college. And typically, if they do well in these, they may be granted admission in the fall semester. Other schools maybe have what I like to call, it's not a no, but not right now. Maybe it's a pathway to joining the college. Maybe they don't have a bridge program of their own, but maybe if you are able to take summer classes and get a certain GPA in summer classes at their institution or at a local community college, you can be evaluated for admission if you prove that you're college ready. There are multiple avenues to get to college, and so students shouldn't be discouraged, and they should just do their research and talk to the people on the admission side. That's the biggest piece of advice that I can give, is to speak to the admissions representatives at the schools that you're interested in. Also, to not limit yourself to just one school in particular, to check out multiple schools, because the opportunities at each are different. And there are no bad schools in the state of Kentucky, but every school is not the right fit for every student. So students should explore their options, visit different institutions. That's one of the biggest things that students can do, because they can see for themselves, is that school the right fit for them? And they can determine that while they're on campus. And they can speak with admissions personnel and financial aid personnel to make sure they get the most accurate information possible.
Advisors should have systems in place to assist students and families with the college application process. These systems may look different from each district, and can be unique from school to school. There is no perfect or best system, but instead, whatever works for you. Some ideas include hosting workshops or information sessions. Topics to include might be completing college applications, paying for college, asking for recommendation letters, building a strong resume, transitioning to college, or other relevant topics. Another idea is to schedule open lab days. Select one day a week, maybe Fridays, whatever makes most sense for you and your students, and make this a space for students to get the help they need. Here, they can receive assistance with anything related to their college application. So during this time, you could help 20 to 25 students at a time rather than one-on-one. Invite guest speakers to share or maybe even participate in a panel discussion. Here you can include college admissions officers, current college students, or even alumni to share their experiences and insights with students and families. A lunch and learn setting works really well for this. Host college fairs for students and families to meet representatives from various colleges and universities. Here, they can learn about different programs, admission requirements, and campus life. Arrange for college visits and tours for students to explore different campuses firsthand and gain a better understanding of what institution has to offer. If bus cost is an issue, it might be possible that the institution can pay for that transportation. It never hurts to ask. Many schools provide resources online for students with a Google Classroom or a web page giving access to college search engines, scholarship databases, virtual campus tours that will help students and families research colleges and plan their applications. Finally, another way to build your college application system is by using the resources that KAA offers for advisors. Let's hear from one of their outreach counselors now.
Hey friends, it's Mackenzie Massey with Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority. I'm your Southern Kentucky Outreach Counselor, and today I wanted to tell you all about KAA's initiative, KY Goes to College. As you can see behind me, kygoestocollege.com is an excellent resource and kind of a hub where you're going to find all things higher education. In my territory, schools pick a day and we have colleges come in, and it's really just a good time for your senior students to get one-on-one help, to get hands-on help with higher education applications. That can be 2-year, 4-year vocational school. I've actually assisted students in workforce applications as well. To wrap up, KY Goes to College is a KAA initiative. kygoestocollege.com is an excellent resource and an excellent hub for you to find things all about higher education. If you go to KAA.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and click on Outreach Counselor, you can actually find the outreach counselor for your area and your territory. If you have any questions regarding KY Goes to College, or if you would like to become a KY Goes to College school, you can register on kygoestocollege.com, or you can contact your outreach counselor and they can help. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks.
Your challenge is for all seniors to complete at least one college application. Consider hosting a college application day this year. If you already do that, celebrate your students by hosting a decision day for them. Start early and stay organized. As advisors, you can provide students and families the tools, resources, and encouragement they need to succeed.